You know, Brandon, it feels like it's been forever since we've done a BZ. So now we're going to escape from Ever After. That sounded a lot better in my head. Hello, welcome to another episode of Keeping BZ. I'm Zach, joined by Brandon. And in previous videos, I would randomly bring up Paper Mario. So I figured, you know what? Let me just get it all out and play the Paper Mario inspired Steam demo. This is this is a completely different demo than the one I originally saw. I think the original one I saw was based on the opening of the game. This is a more Halloween-centric demo.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, this one is later, so you have an extra party member that wasn't in the original demo.
You know, because with demos, they can go in a lot of different ways, and there's some times where, if the developer cares enough, you'll get, like, really curated demos that are either a very, a section of the game that's nicely edited to work as a demo. You'll get a part of the game that's not even in the main game that is like a demo unto itself, that's like its own thing. Or you get, well, the opening prologue of the game for 8 minutes and then it ends.
I actually just now remembered that V3's demo is completely different from how V3 actually goes. Because in Danganronpa V3, it's a trial that stars like Makoto and Byakuya and other Danganronpa characters.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
And then it just ends before the killer gets revealed. Oh, one thing I want to point out, I am so glad that the hero in this game talks. It sounds like such a small thing, but Flint actually speaks, and it honestly makes the cutscenes just so much more fun. I'm not instantly shitting on silent protagonists, but I have been respecting protagonists that actually talk way more often lately. I'm so glad that the main character of Digimon Survive actually speaks. Like, you make choices for him, but he talks. He's like a person who reacts to things.
The Bard.
Yeah, he wasn't in the original demo. It was mostly just the hero and the dragon.
Oh, okay, so these are like, there's a fairy tale theme going on.
Yep, I believe the beginning is your usual standard fantasy hero fare. I think the dragon kidnapped a princess. The hero went to go save her. But then this corporation is invading storybooks, and they turn the dragon from the big ferocious dragon into what you see now.
Oh, they make him into a marketable plushie.
No, don't turn me into a marketable plushie. Yeah, basically, yeah, I didn't even think about that. So now we're teamed up because we wanted to stop Happily Ever After Inc., I believe it's called. But in this one, we're working for them. So I don't know if this is a thing that is actually going to happen later on in the story. It feels like it feels like it should, because we're going after Sherlock Holmes. But I don't know if this will actually be a real chapter in the game or not. I feel like it must be, but maybe it was just made for the more Halloween-centric demo.
It's funny, this design looks less like Sherlock Holmes and more like a combination of Sherlock and Watson into one character.
You know, yeah, I see that.
Oh no. Another book by H.P. Hatecraft.
I'm sure everything will go well.
But that's certainly interesting. With the tone of this game and like its art style, I did not expect an H.P. Lovecraft-inspired area.
You know, you can tell this is an indie game because it involves making fun of a company.
Yeah. I mean, that is the theme for obvious reasons.
And I mean, I would make more fun of it, but I would do it too.
I mean, especially because a lot of indie devs are sometimes people that came from working on AAA or, you know, whatever corporation-made developers that when they go into making indie games, a lot of times, yes, a lot of the creative inspiration is spite against the way they were treated and the way the system spits out all creativity.
Yep, autosave. Okay. There's one thing that kind of bugs me about this game. It's not really that bad. It feels like every jump in this game I only just barely make. Like, I've never really had trouble with the platforming, but I always feel like I make it by the skin of my teeth. The other nitpick I have is I don't like Tinder's voice. It sounds like a smoker's cough with every letter.
I guess in some ways that kind of makes sense for a dragon.
It's not the worst.
No, but I know what you mean, that in some games where they have that thing where the characters make a sound on every letter like Banjo-Kazooie, some characters can have a sound that is genuinely annoying. Like, I remember in Little Big Planet, you could, like, change what types of sounds the dialogue boxes make, and one of them is just a character that does nothing but burps.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot about that. I used to be such a Little Big Planet stan.
I never built anything in Little Big Planet, but I did really enjoy playing all the user-created levels.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest regrets, that I never really went out of my way to make anything. I've tried, but I never stuck with anything long enough to finish a full level. There are some really, really good levels, though. Like, Little Big Planet 2 has great levels, of course, but I was surprised with what people could do with Little Big Planet 1, because that one is much more limited to just a platformer, but the people were doing such creative things with it, like even making turn-based RPGs, that for Little Big Planet 2, they wanted to, you know, go bigger, and they, super succeeded. Little Big Planet 3 is alright. It's pretty good. I don't know. I have much more nostalgia for Little Big Planet 2.
And I believe forever now the servers are gone. There was like a whole hacking situation, and they shut everything down for a bit, but said it was going to come back, and then it never did.
I think Dreams is also gone, right?
I don't know if I think the servers are up for Dreams. It's more that they're not updating Dreams anymore.
Oh, okay. But yep, if you're familiar with Paper Mario, you're familiar with how this game works. There are, coffee is your flower points, and then the synergy gauge is kind of like your star gauge. Although instead of, using star sprites, you use your partner character. Although one big difference is that Flint, our Mario, for this, you actually don't need to keep him in the party at all times. I could have Wolfgang and Tinder, and I could just have Flint, back in the pocket or whatever you want to call it.
That is a good touch, though, that you don't have to do that, because, I mean, with Mario, I get it, because, you know, he's the main character, but even in those games, Mario is such a nothing as an actual character and personality in the story. He's just kind of the main character that does all the things. I just feel like it totally makes sense that you'd be able to swap him out with any of the other characters. Of course, you know, if there's parts in the story where you have to have Mario in your party, the game should have let you know that, but I don't think it should be necessary.
Yeah, Mario's... So, before Brandon says I hate Thousand Year Door, I do enjoy Thousand Year Door. I just think it's not nearly as perfect as a lot of people make it out to be.
No, I mean, of course, I enjoy Thousand Year Door as well. It's not even like Lazak. I don't dislike Thousand Year Door. I think it's a fine game. I just feel like the reputation it has is overrated. It's like more like it's the best Paper Mario game, but there are better games in terms of even in terms of Mario RPGs, like in the Mario and Luigi series. I think I enjoyed Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story way more than Thousand Year Door. Thousand Year Door was definitely the one that tried to do the most creative and interesting things with the property, and it was definitely like the most polished version of the traditional, turn-based Paper Mario battle system that was carrying on from the first game. But it just didn't... ultimately, its creativity was just not enough for me to sustain it through how long it is. And when you get to the final boss takes forever, and it's so frustrating, and I just wasn't feeling it, but there were still things I really liked about it, but I'm spoiled. I've played other RPGs that are not made by Nintendo, where they are not, baby's first RPG like a lot of the Paper Mario games are. So I'm used to having much more complex stories with party members that develop and advance throughout the entire narrative and don't just stop developing the second that you meet them and their arc ends in the area you meet them in.
Yeah, that's always been my biggest problem, and I brought that up to not really my friends, but my friends' friends, and they always get so fucking pissed about it. And I'm like, but I'm not wrong. Like, I'm not saying the partners are bad, but for an RPG to just go like, yep, this character's story is done, let's not do anything with them anymore, it's very, very disappointing. Because, like, I like Koops. I like, Bobber. It's been a very long time. I think it's been over a decade since I beat Thousand Year Door, but like I like Bobbery and Koops, and I really like the little Yoshi guy. I think the only party member I really don't like that much is like the Wind Lady. And I think Mario being the main character of Thousand Year Door also really holds it back. Because he just doesn't seem to care about anything, at least from what I can recall.
Like, there's a hilarious ongoing subplot in Thousand Year Door where you keep bumping into a Luigi whenever you go back to the hub world, and Luigi's always with a party member going on an adventure of his own, and the party members hate Luigi's guts and want him dead. And it's great, and it makes me want to have played that game where you're playing as Luigi with passive-aggressive party members instead of the Mario one that's more bland because it's Mario. Because Luigi is a character with an identifiable personality.
Like, I would say Mario even has, at the very least, a slight bit more personality than Mario and Luigi. If only because at least Mario and Luigi kind of speak to each other during the story. Not like actual dialogue. They go like, it's like something.
Yeah.
Also, like, those sprites are just so much more emotive than Mario raising his hand.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just get so many great sprite animations of Mario and Luigi playing off each other in those games. Okay, so enemies that have to be attacked with different party members' abilities.
Yep, shields have to be burned by tinder. Although Wolfgang's attack does ignore shields, but it doesn't get rid of the shield.
I imagine this is also something related to Paper Mario, but all this makes me think of is actually Final Fantasy X, because that game's entire battle system is based around enemy types that can only be affected by different party members' specific attacks.
Although it's weird. So I'm about to say something that might sound super weird. This is definitely an indie version of this game. Because, oh my god. This is so much harder. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but in that first battle, Flint went from 20 to 10 in one fight.
Yeah. And, like, maybe in Paper Mario, during a boss fight, you might, you know, take a lot of damage, but most of the time, if it's just a regular battle, it's designed mainly for children, so you're not really going to have too much trouble.
Yeah, this game really wants you to be on your toes when it comes to reacting to attacks. I actually got a game over in the demo my first time playing it because I just wasn't ready for some of the timing.
Right. Well, that's ominous. But I guess that is very H.P. Lovecraft.
Yep, and just like H.P. Lovecraft, they're racist.
I'm enjoying the saxophone soundtrack for this area, mainly because of the sound of live instruments, but also because it kind of just reminds me of the backing tracks in the Sam & Max games.
Oh, I totally hear that now. I didn't even think about that. Anyway, I'm going to save here. Just in case.
Nice, that's a quick saving system. Though it implies that you only have one save slot, but that might change in the full game.
I do have 4 save slots, but when you save into the save slot. You save into the save slot that you started on. So I'm on file 2, so it only saves to file 2.
Yes. Yeah, don't say slave slot, Zach. I may have to cancel you for that. Though I guess in a world based on H.P. Lovecraft, a slot that says deposit your slaves here probably would check out. Yeah, I'm seeing what you mean, Zach, when you say the indie version, because it's, you know, it's trying to capture that kind of cutesy, you know, charming, appealing art style of the Paper Mario games, but it also has themes and ideas and difficulty that would appeal to people that grew up with those games.
Indie just also has an obsession with H.P. Lovecraft and Eldritch in general.
Right. Fear of the unknown and all that.
Look, Flint is reacting to things. Isn't that, there's a word for it, I forget.
I mean, you know, to be fair, in the Paper Mario games, Mario will say something and then the characters will react as if he said something.
Yeah, that is true, but...
But I prefer actual dialogue of the protagonist speaking. I mean, it can be a give and take. Like, you know, I highly doubt it when Half-Life 3 comes out in a 3023. That when that game comes out, Gordon Freeman will probably still not talk even in that game because that's just the nature of that series at this point.
Yeah, they won't be allowed to have Gordon Freeman talk without someone screaming betrayal. There's an old reference for you.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear you make that reference. I know exactly what you're referring to. It's something very specific.
Sorry, when I saw that when I was younger, I felt so embarrassed to be a fan of XCOM. But I mean, like, I guess it kind of worked out because it did lead to Firaxis making XCOM games, and I like those games, but if that's the reason why they exist, I kind of feel shitty about it.
I doubt it was just because of that one person. But at the beginning of this video, we were talking about good like demo design, and like the demo for XCOM Enemy Unknown is probably one of my favorite demos of all time. It's an entirely like bespoke like section not designed for the main game to get you into the story and the characters and set you up for playing the main game, and it's very well put together, especially for someone like me that's not used to strategy games.
I forgot I wanted to buy some equipment. Yeah, I've played some really, really good demos over the years. Unfortunately, they were all mostly from like the PS3 era, but I am glad to see demos are more of a thing. I think there was quite a long time where you would only really get demos for indie games, but nowadays AAA games are starting to give out demos more often, which is great to see again.
Yeah. One of my favorite AA developers, which is Falcom, does one of my favorite demo designs ever, where the demo is the first 10 hours of the game, and then the save file carries over to the main game when you buy it, so you can just keep playing.
Yeah, I was playing the demo for Metaphor, and that's like, I'm 5 hours into that, and I still haven't beat it. I wonder if that one is also like 10 hours. It kind of feels like it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's genius. It's effective and sadistic, because it's just like, well, you've played so much, you might as well buy the game.
When you play that much, you know, sunk cost fallacy. You have to do it.
Yep.
Yep, there are badges in this game as well, but it's not only Flint that can equip badges.
Oh, that's nice. That it's not just the lead character that has mechanics.
Yeah, the most they would get in Paper Mario games is you could upgrade them, and that would give them a new special move, but besides that... And, you know, the new special move would be handy, of course, but it is kind of a shame that that's all they get.
I guess my frustration, Zach, comes from people that are friends of mine that only really understand RPGs through Nintendo. That have only played Nintendo RPGs, only understand RPGs as in terms of references to Paper Mario, or if there's any other Nintendo RPG franchise I'm forgetting. And so if you try to explain anything else to them, like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest or anything like that, it goes over their heads, and it's just frustrating to me, because while there is stuff to be gained in terms of charm and all that with Nintendo's franchises, like I've said, some of them are just so simplified that I feel like people are missing out by not diving into some of the meatier stuff and challenging themselves that way. But who knows? Maybe this game could be like a stepping stone into that direction.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. On the first turn, you get a free switch, which is really, really good. That's a mechanic they haven't explained yet, but...
Just being able to freely switch a character at the beginning of the round?
As long as it's the first turn. After that, if you want to switch and have a turn, you have to spend 1 synergy point. Which I think makes sense. In case you, like, forgot to switch before a battle, you can see the enemy formation, and then you can make switches according to that.
And synergies like your MP, your magic?
Coffee's more like MP. Synergy gauge is more like your super meter.
Okay.
You get synergy gauge as you successfully perform action commands, or you could use the cheer, which is... Yeah, you could use the encourage team, which normally I think Mario was the only one that could do it, but I think if you got a certain badge, it allowed your party members to do it too. Yeah, it looks like Tinder's not going to be useful here because that shield is made of metal, so it resists the fire. Oh, I keep forgetting it's X to switch. I'm not going to use the synergy. I'm just going to have Flint out in front, hope he doesn't die immediately. Oh my gosh, yeah, okay. I'm getting much better at that. That used to really mess me up because I would keep forgetting it would bounce on both party members.
Ah, I see. And you really have to get in the rhythm of hitting those one after the other.
Oh, okay. I thought he would. I thought only Tinder would get stabbed by the spear, but I guess not. I mean, I can easily get rid of it. Flint shield disarms enemies.
So I guess in this continuity, the big bad wolf would play songs to lure the three little pigs out.
Maybe. I'm actually not sure what Wolfgang's thing is. Oh, but I forgot to mention it. We're currently in the middle of a side quest. We're getting glasses for the locksmith, so the locksmith will make a key, so that way we can get back into the instrument shop, and getting back into the instrument shop will get us an upgrade for our bard.
Nice.
Oh, Brandon. I just now realized we have a bard, and we have a dragon.
Oh no, I'm not getting the reference.
Oh, it's a D&D reference. I thought that one you would get after watching 50 hours of it.
Oh, I mean, you know, there are bards and there are dragons.
The joke is that bards always fuck dragons.
Oh, I see. No, I wouldn't have gotten that. There unfortunately there was no dragon fucking in the campaign I watched.
Is it even Dungeons and Dragons if you're not fucking a dragon?
I mean, yeah, I guess it just depends on, you know, who is feeling what in terms of what they want out of their specific campaign. There was fucking, just, you know, among characters, not necessarily among gigantic monsters. As much as some people may or may not, want that to happen.
Yeah, who'd want that to happen? That's weird.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't think of a single person, especially women I know, that would have any interest in like monsters in movies. They'd just be like, ew, I definitely would not want to touch that.
I'm asexual, so no hot giant monsters for me.
I definitely did not watch Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein and then go on to Tumblr and see a million different Pixmix gifs of Frankenstein's monster with baby girl written on them.
I can fix them. Why did I walk past the locksmith? I was too busy thinking about sexy dragons.
Oh no.
Anyway, here's the key. Oh, right. We gotta use it in the door.
Nice. These little indoor environments are nicely decorated.
Oh, the other thing I like about this game more is that, you know, like, partners in Paper Mario, of course, had personality, but oftentimes who was speaking was just based on your current party member at the time. So they would say something, but it wouldn't really feel like plot relevant. It just feels like filler dialogue, like, oh, you have Goombella out, so she says this in reaction, but it doesn't really feel like it means anything. In this game, the character that needs to speak just comes out and just says what they need to say, which I don't know why Paper Mario didn't do that. That seems like it'd be a lot easier than having to program unique dialogue for each moment, and it's dialogue that doesn't ultimately mean anything.
Yeah, because what it means is, in the Paper Mario, whatever party member you have equipped says the line, but while the phrasing of the line might be different, they all say exactly the same thing with the same intention. While here, it's technically less effort, but what it means is that the one party member always says that line, so you can write it specifically for their personality.
Yeah, it feels like they matter for more than one chapter.
Yeah, some of this art design, along with the kind of more foreboding music, makes me think a bit more of some of the darker environments in Epic Mickey.
I can kind of see that.
Uh-oh. They're speaking gobbledygook. You know what this means?
Gonath Cthulhu Nagorale. I'm pretty sure I've heard this exact Cthulhu dialogue in Shadow of the Comet.
That probably is exactly true. I mean, most of these works are in the public domain, so...
Oh, yeah. In case you're wondering, I'm talking about the point-and-click game Shadow of the Comet, which Retsuprey did a commentary over. That game has a lot of faces. I don't know if it's still my Steam profile picture, but my Steam profile picture for a long time was a face from Shadow of the Comet. I have healing items this time. We're healed up. Okay. This is where I got a game over before.
Oh boy, down into the basement. Nice, okay.
But I had been really critical about Thousand Year Door, so I do want to talk about some things I like about it. Like, there are some really good chapters. I really like the train chapter, for example. I mean, I'm just a sucker for mystery in general. So the train's one of my favorites.
Yeah, the train mystery is fun. I do like the spooky horror town where everybody's turning into pigs.
Oh, that one's really good.
Well, because it's just so bizarre aesthetic-wise for a Mario game.
Yeah, like, there are definitely plenty of reasons to like Thousand Year Door. It's just, like you've said, there's just RPGs that have done better. So when I see people talk about Thousand Year Door like it's the greatest RPG ever, I'm like, oh, come on. There's, like... Even if we ignore games that came out after Thousand Year Door, there are definitely RPGs that are better than Thousand Year Door, even from before it.
I was gonna say, Thousand Year Door is like post Final Fantasy VI. I mean, yes, technically 7 and all the 3D and a lot of the 3D ones, but 6 in particular is the one I think of in terms of also kind of more simplified sprite-based graphics, but telling a much more complex and interesting story with a group of party members that are all treated as if they are the main character. I mean, the 90s in general. I mean, there are so many just iconic RPGs from that era, whether it be Xenogears or whether it be Parasite Eve. Kodelka, of course.
So Flint is marked. Anytime I deal damage to the one who marked me, the marked character will also take damage.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And it's a status effect that makes sense for spooky satanic ritual people.
Wait a minute. Did Flint shield catch on fire going through a burned enemy and burn the enemy behind? That's fucking sick if that's what just happened. That's...
Yeah, that is what happened.
I did not know that was actually a thing. That didn't happen the first time, but that's really cool. You know what, Mark? You'll live. For anyone who wants to know the timing of that, once the tentacle bends backwards.
Okay. I wonder about that, because some games can get very specific about that.
Yeah, as soon as you see the tentacle bend backwards, and then I think there's actually 2 different timings. Because I think you can get, like, a more generous timing where you'll block some damage, but I think if you do a much tighter timing, I think you block even more damage.
Right.
Okay, yeah, this playthrough has been going a lot better than my first one. I died in that. I got a game over in that battle the first time. Oh, wait, no, sorry, it wasn't this battle. It was a later one. Because I forgot. I was super damaged after that fight. Got into another fight and then died there. And then I forgot to save after this fight. So I had to redo this fight all over. Also, Brian, I don't know if you recognize this sound effect.
I mean, it's a fairly standard spring cartoon sound effect, but yeah, maybe it is something specific. Oh, wait a second. It's the sound of Scooby-Doo's double jump in Night of 100 Frights.
Yep, that's exactly the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah.
You could sleep in the bed. Why did I not think that you could sleep in the bed before? I kept walking around so extremely damaged and I grinded for healing items and then you could just sleep in the bed.
Oh no, Zach hasn't played enough RPGs to know you can sleep in beds.
But for some reason I thought that was just like a one-time thing. I don't...
Well, I mean, is that really a Paper Mario thing?
I mean, Paper Mario usually had blocks next to save blocks that you would hit and heal. So I think that's kind of what threw me off. Plus, normally in RPGs, when you sleep at an inn, you, like, pay for it or you speak to an innkeeper. You don't usually go directly into the room and sleep.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess I should have at the very least tried it. This just in. Tonight, Zachary learns that people sleep in beds. Oh, so I almost completely forgot what we had to do for a second. We have to go into Sherlock's room. Because it was Sherlocked. So that's a reference to the what was it, the BBC Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Why, did somebody make that pun at some point?
Yeah, there's... I think in Season 1, there was the female character. I forgot her name. It's been a very long time. And her phone was locked, and Sherlock had to find the password. And then eventually, he finds out the password is S-H-E-R, because it says... The phone says, I am locked, so the password is, I am Sherlocked, because she loves Sherlock Holmes.
Wow. Season 1. Back when people liked the show Sherlock, when it was so simple.
I don't know. I'm not sure how much it holds up today, but back then I really enjoyed Season 1 and 2. I know there's like a whole H-Bomber guy video going over Sherlock and how it was never really good to begin with. I haven't seen that whole video. But, like, I've seen more criticism for it now, and I think back on it, I'm like, was it ever really that good? I don't know. I enjoyed it at the time. I mean, Season 3 was definitely a downturn, and Season 4 is a pile of shit.
Yeah, like, maybe I'd revisit it one day, but at this point, in terms of Sherlock Holmes, I'd be more interested in just, like, watching some of the older adaptations, like, of course, the Basil Rathbone movies of, like, the 30s and 40s that are, like, some of the more, like, iconic tellings of those original stories.
There was a Sherlock Holmes series that was pretty old. It wasn't, like, 30s and 40s old, because it was color. I think 30s and 40s were still black and white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's what I think was 60s or 70s. It was, like, kind of older one, and I really enjoyed it. I only saw like the first couple of episodes, and then I did that thing that I always do where I just didn't watch any more of it. And then when I remembered it and wanted to go watch more of it, it wasn't on Netflix anymore.
Sure.
But yeah, there's some other Sherlock Holmes stuff I want to check out.
I mean, it's now in the public domain, so you're going to find all different kinds of tellings of Sherlock Holmes.
God damn it. Yeah, you would think having a ranged attack would be easier than just jumping on them, but he's blowing bubbles so fast that if I do try to throw my shield, I get hit by the bubble before he gets hit by the shield.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it looks like in the mid-60s there was a Sherlock Holmes show that had Peter Cushing playing Sherlock, who's a very, very famous actor, primarily known for his work in the Hammer horror films. And, well, most people nowadays know him as that guy that was, like, the commander of the Death Star in the first Star Wars movie. Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I only know who that is because he has cards on him.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I should have expected that.
Oh, I keep forgetting he throws the head. Yeah, I think the other problem I had originally, too, I didn't use the special moves enough times. I don't know what it is with me. Unless it's SMT, I don't use the special moves that much. I'm like, no, but MP, it must be saved. I must save the MP. Especially since it's team-centric and not just each person-centric. So I'm like, no, but I need it. What if I need it, Brandon?
I understand that feeling heavily, but as I've gotten older, I've realized, it's better just to use it, because otherwise you won't use it. Like, I've been playing The Witcher 2 recently, and I got, like, a formula to make some really powerful bombs to throw at enemies. And I'm like, no, I gotta save this, and then I got into a tight situation, because the enemies in Witcher 2 do not mess around and take down your health in seconds. And so just like, hell with it, I just threw my bomb, and they were gone, and I was like, okay, yeah, that was the right choice. I am quite enjoying the soundtrack in this game. That it's like I'm not sure how much I would remember these themes after playing, but I think that they do a very good job matching the aesthetic, matching that kind of Paper Mario vibe, but kind of being its own thing.
Yeah, I think that's something a lot of indie games struggle with is being inspired, but then not feeling too much like it's inspiration. Some of them are just like, I mean, if you like thing A, you'll like thing B. They're kind of identical. And while you can definitely still say that for this as well, that I would say this is definitely its own thing enough that there are like definitely, like, I think there are definite improvements from Paper Mario through this. I think I want MP. I'm getting better at the game. I don't need the HP as much.
Yeah, I think that's always the kind of balance, too, with a lot of these indie games inspired by games where how much you want to, how much you want to hold your inspirations and, like, put them right on your sleeve so everybody knows what this is taking from. Because it's that thing of not wanting to borrow too much to the point where it really does just feel like a copy without an identity. But also, you want the game to look enough like the thing you're inspired by, so that way people that are fans of that thing want to play your game.
Yeah, you do still definitely have to find that balance. I would say another one that does it, although this one's not quite as indie, is, I keep forgetting. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is the one I'm thinking of, I believe. That one, I think, does a good job of being enough like the old Castlevania Metroidvanias, while also still being its like own thing with its own... I keep forgetting she can't do that.
Wait, is the dragon a lady?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here comes the fan art.
I mean, to me, any dragon's a goal. No, 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 stop. Oh, did I really get hit for... Okay, no, I didn't.
Well, a new Sherlock Holmes series did literally premiere this year. Because, I mean, a new Sherlock Holmes thing premieres every year. This show is called Sherlock and Daughter.
Sherlock and Doctor, you said?
No, Daughter.
Oh, Doctor.
As in his kid. Tagging along.
So wait, he has a kid now?
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the main draw of the show, I suppose. Sherlock in that show is played by David Thewlis, who you and I would unfortunately most likely know for playing Lupin in the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, the guy who turns into a werewolf.
Yeah. And I also know him as the main villain in the Wonder Woman movie from back in 2017. I remember when that movie came out and I went to theaters to see it and I'm like, oh, DC movies can be good? Because things hadn't really been good since the Dark Knight films. But I imagine going back to that Wonder Woman movie would be a little pitiful comparing it to the Superman film that came out this year by James Gunn. I guess this is a good moment to bring up in terms of Sherlock Holmes that you and I are quite a big fan of the big-budget Hollywood film Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows.
Oh yeah, I really like both those movies. I'm so disappointed by how it ends though, because it's like the end question mark, and it's like, yes, it is.
I guess maybe there were plans to do another, but they just never really materialized because Robert Downey Jr., of course, had other business to attend to it around that time. Mostly being in more Avengers movies, I imagine.
How do you feel about him being Doctor Doom and the newer stuff?
So yes, next year we're getting Avengers Doomsday, which will have Doctor Doom, who is an intriguing villain. Like, he is a cool character if you actually look up his lore, and there's a lot you could do with him. But casting Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play him, because obviously that's going to be a draw because people liked him as Iron Man, and it's going to be a shock to the characters in the movie to see this character that looks like Tony Stark. But I'm not into the idea at all because it just feels strange. It kind of takes away from Victor Von Doom as a character by making it all about how he looks like Iron Man. And is there going to be some sort of twist? Is it actually Tony Stark, or is it some sort of other thing going on here? Like some other multi-universe bullshit? I don't know, but I would be totally fine. Just no, cast somebody else. Make Doctor Doom his own character. Well, Doctor Doom works on his own without needing some sort of dumb twist to him.
I mean, all I can tell Robert Downey Jr. is make that bag, make all that Disney money. Isn't he getting like $1 billion or something for coming back?
Yeah, something insane, which is why he came back in the first place. Because I mean, the reason why Doctor Doom is the villain, Zach, is because it was originally going to be Kang the Conqueror, another big Marvel villain, and then the actor well, two things happened. One, the actor that played him got some very serious allegations leveled against him that did eventually turn into charges, and so he was pitched out of the Avengers universe. And then at the same exact time, the movie that introduced him, Ant-Man Quantumania, got pretty middling, mediocre reviews and did not do as well as the box office as other MCU movies. So now, for the first time, Marvel had to basically remake and retool their entire plans, multi-year plans for their universes, just to figure out what to do now that audiences were really waning on their material. So this is what they came up with. It's going to have like a bunch of the X-Men. It's going to have the Fantastic Four. It's going to have probably Spider-Man in there. It's going to have Doctor Doom heading up as the main villain. They're kind of... all of it screams deeply of just extreme desperation. Of just like trying to throw in as many things people will be interested in to try to desperately get them into the theaters to keep this MCU thing going. But it's really fascinating how the tables have turned, because most people I know are not all that interested in whatever Avengers Doomsday is going to turn out to be, with all of its different actors recording all of their parts in the movie on green screens, not in the same room. Whereas I'm shocked how much I'm interested in the future of James Gunn running the DC universe, because Superman was so fun, just simple and fun. And the movies that he has coming up already sound like they're going to be, once again, Zach, they're going to be like not part of it. Like they are technically part of an interconnected universe, but they're going to be kind of standalone movies with their own stories and characters. So you're not going to need to see all this bullshit just to fully understand what's going on. You can just watch a movie if you're interested in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, Superman was good, but I'm so just like, God fucking damn it, more fucking superheroes.
They'll never go away, Zach. Like, that's not going to happen at this point. They are the MCU franchise, Zach, is the biggest franchise in the history of film. Like, it beat out Star Wars, it beat out Harry Potter, it beat out all of these ridiculously huge moneymakers that we've seen throughout the history of our lives in movies. Superheroes are intrinsically linked to our culture now in a way that is not going to just stay in comic books and video games anymore. It is going to be film, and there's nothing we can do about it. And to be fair, it always was that way. Like, when Spider-Man did well, I mean, yes, X-Men did well, and that kind of spurred, Spider-Man happening. But when Spider-Man came out in 2002, that was it. Like, that was when these movies became a thing that just continued to get pumped out. And I'm kind of at a point where I'm just like, I'm not... Like, yes, I feel some of that fatigue, of course. Like, I'm just like, yes, this is another superhero thing. There's no longer a sense of incredible hype like I used to have. But, if people behind it I know make good things and I like the character involved, yeah, I'll probably go see it. And James Gunn is a guy I like, and I was curious to see what he would do with Superman, so I did have some level of interest in it. So I went to see it. It was good. I'll probably see more of those.
Yeah, I know superhero movies aren't going to stop, but I'm pretty much done. Not saying they're going to be, like, bad, because Superman was good. But I'm also just like, I mean, I have so many other movies to watch anyway. I'll just watch those instead.
Sure.
I mean, like, I am looking forward to the new Knives Out.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty more stuff coming up next year that I don't even have listed here yet, but, yeah, it is what it is. These franchises will always be what they are.
I do sometimes jokingly wonder, although I don't know how much of a joke it is nowadays, what Mario is going to be like in 50 years. Assuming we all exist in 50 years, of course. But we can just pretend we would. We can just pretend. We can live in this fantasy land that the Earth will not explode and be all set on fire by AI.
Well, provided you and Isaac live to be like 93 years old, then we would know for sure.
God, yeah, I guess we would actually be in our 80s and 50.
Oh yeah. Well, and actually, yeah, I'm right. We would be like 83 by the time that Mario would be another 50 years. So who knows? I imagine Mario would still be going. I don't know. I feel like the video game landscape would be remarkably different by then, whatever it becomes, because as it is now, video games are still in a somewhat infancy. Like, yes, they technically started in the late 70s, but then they died super fast and they didn't really emerge until like the mid to late 80s. And now, you know, the 90s had them kind of finding their footing, and the 2000s, you know, had the huge evolution of where 3D gaming eventually went. And now that's kind of, you know, continued to build upon itself over the decades. But video games are still a fairly new thing in terms of a medium. They're not like film. By the time the video games become as old as, you know, movies are now, they'll probably be a whole different thing entirely.
I mean, Ninja, but do you see the plates whenever they spawn in? But you know what? Yeah, now that you bring that up, I guess it wouldn't really be that surprising for Mario and Sonic and all of them to still be existing. Because, yeah, like, we were talking about Sherlock Holmes earlier. He's, like, what, from the 1800s, I believe?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where the books, I believe, originally started publishing. Yep, it would have been a Study in Scarlet, which was the first Sherlock Holmes story, was published in 1887. And if you're wondering, Zach, we're hitting 58 minutes.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. There's not that much more to go, but, you know, the point of BZ is, like, there's a reason why it's not really Let's Plays. You know, the point of BZ is to show people interesting games, and to get them to play the interesting games. This is an interesting game. If you like Paper Mario, or if you never really got to play Paper Mario before, play Escape from Ever After, try the demo, and then wishlist it on Steam. This is really good. You should play it, see the ending of the demo for yourself, and I think we will pretty much end it here, unless Brandon has anything else he wants to bring up.
No, I don't think so. I think that this game looks cool. I think that it's executing a lot of the things that I wish the Paper Mario games had, until, you know, because this is calling back to what people liked about the early games and not kind of what Paper Mario became, which was just the experimental series where every game had to have a completely different battle system, completely different feel, and ultimately just never really had an identity that people identified as why they loved this series in the first place. So this calls back to what people liked while fixing a lot of the simplicity that those older games had and doing something interesting with it.
I actually can't believe we didn't even bring any of that up. That's a whole... I mean, I guess we kind of brought it up when we did Sticker Star originally. But, like, that's a whole entirely different discussion.
Yep.
Because, yeah, that's the reason why I like to call Thousand Year Door the best Paper Mario by default.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Super, but some people really like the weirdness of Super.
Super has a really good story, actually. I think that one has the best story out of all of them. The gameplay is so dull, in my opinion, though. I've tried playing it 2 or 3 different times, and while I do get farther each time, I also get just immensely bored at some point, and I just stop.
Yes. I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? Like, I hear, like, for example, Color Splash has a lot of funny writing in it, but the actual act of playing the game is pretty miserable because of how it constantly has to have everything revert back to the gamepad in a very forced kind of way.
It also has some sticker star design, as in some of that design is really, really, really terrible, and you just have to do things at the right time that you wouldn't know to do otherwise. Which is just so amateurish for Nintendo. Like, I can't believe Sticker Star is a Nintendo game with how awfully designed that game is. Like, ignoring the fact that it's even a Paper Mario game, it's just a terrible game overall.
Yeah. Yeah, I finally saw all of Chugga Conroy's full review of the entire game, and that's pretty easy to see. Like, I was thoroughly shocked every step of the way through his. Like, I could not believe how much worse that game gets as it goes on, and how, despite on its face seeming like a polished, typical, high-quality Nintendo game, it's actually a horrible game disguised as wearing the skin of a Mario game.
And Color Splash is only kind of, like, slightly better from what I understand. I saw, what was the name of the channel? Don something. He has, like, he has a Pianta as a profile picture. And I watched his, like, a 2-part series of him, doing like a pseudo let's play of the game because of the reputation it has. And he comes to an interesting conclusion where, like, there's a lot of things he liked about it, but playing the game is such a slog.
Right.
And while I don't want to go on too much longer, I am pretty much going to stop here. Origami King, I did play through and beat that, and that game is extremely mediocre. It doesn't have any of the same huge design flaws that Sticker Star and Color Splash have. I never went to a puzzle and just went, what the fuck is this? Like I did with when I had Sticker Star, back when I coped about that game being good. But Origami King is just, like, gameplay and story-wise, it's just like, yeah, I mean, it works. It functions. I just hope after the Thousand Year Door remake that we'll get a proper Thousand Year Door sequel.
Yeah. I mean, with them remaking both Super Mario RPG and Thousand Year Door, I feel like that's a sign more than ever that they sort of understand, or at least the audience calling has been strong enough that they get the direction they want to go in next. So hopefully that's the sign.
Yeah, but alright, we've yapped for long enough. It's probably over an hour by now.
Yep.
So this has been us showcasing Escape from Ever After and talking about Paper Mario and just other things in general. We hope you enjoyed and look forward to more BZ in the future that hopefully won't take like a month or two to get to this time.
Yeah.
Which is admittedly my fault. Like, I do have a lot of difficulty picking BZ games sometimes.
But I thought this was the perfect chill energy type of game to do for this one.
Oh yeah, and as a sneak preview, my next one, I mean, Brandon gets the next pick, but after Brandon's next pick, I'm going to be doing Bubsy 4D because I can't escape the Bobcat.
Nope. But, you know, it's actually not a bad game, so...
I mean, Bubsy 4D, the demo is actually very good.
Yeah, so, yeah, we'll talk more about why when we get to that coming up.